What can go wrong is going wrong for the New York Mets, and it's insufferable, unwatchable baseball, and I'm losing my mind. Mets lose again on Tuesday night to the Atlanta Braves after Frankie Montas shoved, dominated, shocked the world. And yes, I don't want to hear people say, I had believed in him. I had belief the minor league rehab outings don't matter. I agree, minor league rehab outings don't matter. But when you go a month of ineptitude, you're worried about the guy. There's no way you went into last night not worried. And he did incredible. So claps to Frankie Montas. There's the positive. We got that out of the way. Here's the negative. The team lost. The bullpen, you can't trust any of these guys outside Edwin Diaz. They've lost 10 of the last 11. They're 0-5 versus the Braves, and the season feels like it's free falling. So we're here to try to take you off the ledge. You're watching Mets Daily. I'm your host, Jake Brown, at Jake Brown Radio. Make sure you smash that thumbs up on the video below. Tonight, special Mets Daily Insiders only. Please, I know you got $5 if you're watching this. If I got $5 as someone who's barely working, you got $5. Click join below. Become a Mets Daily Insider. Our first watch party is tonight. So for the final hour of the game tonight, tune in. Me and members only will watch the game and hopefully turn the season around. If the Mets season turned back around, I want credit because of the watch party tonight for Mets Daily Insider members. So if you're a member, you get to be part of the party tonight. Pour up a glass of wine, pour up a drink. We'll commiserate together. For the final couple innings of tonight's game, come join us. So click join below to become a Mets Daily Insider member. And listen, if you don't got the $5 or don't want to, just click subscribe. If you're not already subscribed, that is free. And we will continue bringing you that daily content right here on Mets Daily. So Frankie Montas should have been in the sixth inning. He was at 80 pitches. I get Carlos Mendoza making him, wants him to feel good about himself, and he, didn't want him going third time through the order, blah, 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 blah. 12 outs from this bullpen is an impossible task with only a 3-run lead. You see it every night. Brazoban comes in, implodes, walks, hit by pitches, continue to crush this team. Brazoban had nothing. Reed Garrett has been the king of not getting charged runs but giving up big hits, and that's why his ERA is so low, because he'll have a hit, a walk, 2 strikeouts. You're like, oh, he was great, but that hit is 2 runs in the go-ahead lead, and it's 5-3, just like that. So, listen, Reed Garrett's been great. I don't want to knock Reed Garrett. He's been really good this year. But, that ERA is a little misleading because, he does come in tough spots, and that's tough on him. It's tough on the guys before him who suck. It's tough to continue to watch Jose Castillo. There's a reason Jose Castillo was on the scrap heap. He was atrocious for the Diamondbacks. He's been good for the Mets. Another guy, I can't really knock him, but do we trust him? Not in the slightest. And Huascar Brazoban in a 3-run game, you don't trust him in the slightest. Dickie Lovelady gets an appearance, throws a great inning, has to come in for a second inning because guess what? This bullpen is overused and overtaxed. So he gives up 2 runs in that second inning. And in the end, they didn't have enough to come back. And, after all this pitching talk, we got to say this. The offense has sucked. 3 runs in 1 inning, then just 1 scrap, run in the 9th, and that was it. Like I continue to say, Eric Chavez will be fired if this keeps up. Someone's got to fall on a sword, and this team is better than what we've seen in the last 11 days, losing 10 of the last 11, a game and a half back. Shout out to the Astros for beating the Phillies, so the Mets didn't lose any ground last night. But a game where you get 5 shutout innings, 5 scoreless from Frankie Montas, you have to win when you're up 3-0 and he leaves the game, and you found a way to lose. And they're always finding a way to lose right now. This was a team that kept finding ways to win for over 2 months. The best home team in baseball, the best record in baseball, and then swept by the Rays, swept by the Braves, lose 2 out of 3 to the Phillies, and now you've already lost the first 2 out of 4 to the Braves. You're 0-5 versus the Braves. Is it time to panic? A little bit, yeah. It is a little bit time to panic because there are glaring holes right now that need to be fixed, and they could make all the trades they want. Those trades aren't happening for another month, so they're going to have to get guys back. And, one guy you thought you were going to get back suffered a setback, and I don't know. They're talking about it like it's not much. I'm a little bit concerned. Sean Manaea, loose bodies in his left elbow, throwing elbow. There's some bodies. We got bodies in Mets land that are dying from watching this team right now. I'm losing my mind. Loose bodies in left elbow, had a cortisone shot. He will not throw for a few days. They expect him to make his final rehab start next week, and then his rehab clock is up. So you would think if all is okay, he'll make one start before the All-Star break with the New York Mets and back in the big leagues. And boy, do they need him. But how do you feel good about that? Loose bodies in your pitching elbow. We're only in June. They got to get him through October, hopefully, through a deep playoff run because they need him. And he's already having issues with his throwing elbow that might require off-season surgery. I'm sorry. That sounds bad. And it sounds like it could get worse. So hopefully it's the cortisone shot that saves the Mets season because without Sean Manaea, I fear this team is cooked. And, they need him back. And they make it sound like one rehab start, he's good, he's golden. But I don't feel that great about that. Jesse Winker, good news is he will begin rehab this weekend as a DH. I assume AAA. I'm not sure what level, but he'll begin this weekend. He'll play a game, then sit, then probably play back-to-back. It's going to be at least 7 to 10 days of rehab. He hasn't played since early May. So my guess, the earliest we see Winker is that Baltimore or Kansas City series right before the All-Star break. If not, definitely first game after the All-Star break, assuming no setbacks. And this is a lineup that needs him. I know Jared Young finally had a fucking hit last night as a pinch hitter, but I've seen enough of Jared Young. I mean, Jesse Winker, you hope, replace Jared Young. Hell, you hope Mark Vientos on Friday when he's up, when the Mets go to Pittsburgh, replaces Jared Young. But enough of Jared Young. I've had enough. And you need Winker's bat. Marte doesn't do a lot. Young's done nothing. Mauricio hasn't been great. He had a big hit in the ninth, but again, he has not been great. I would like to keep him around over Young, though, because I think he brings more to the Mets speed-wise, and I like him better as a hitter than Jared Young. So we'll see what they do when Vientos is up, but they need Vientos' bat here. They could really use Winker. They could use reinforcements like a Bregman we talked about. We've talked about a guy like Cedric Mullins, Jaron Duran. They could use one of these guys, maybe even two. If you can get a third baseman as center fielder, great. The more the merrier. Hell, Byron Buxton rumors have popped up. Can you get Byron Buxton if the Twins fall off the face of the earth? I would take Byron Buxton a heartbeat. Nimmo, Buxton, Soto. Are you kidding me? Hell to the yes. So this team needs reinforcements. I'm a little worried about Sean Manaea, to be honest, but hopefully all comes back okay with him. After the game, we read news from our guy Will Salmon, who does a fantastic job covering the Mets at The Athletic, that the Mets are calling up Jonathan Pintaro from Double-A. How about this? Nolan McLean. Poor Nolan McLean can't get a spot start, but Pintaro's going from Double-A to the major. At this point, let's call up Jonathan. Why not call Jonathan? Now, Pintaro was set to start in AAA this week. He was set to pitch in AAA this week. He made 11 starts in Double-A this year, a 3.4 ERA. He did have 57 strikeouts in 42 and a third innings. So a couple things interesting about him. First off, he didn't get to the minors until he has no major league experience. He didn't get to the minors till last year, and boy, did he climb quickly. He is 27 years old, and he only has 1 year in the minor leagues. So a very intriguing, I don't even know if you call him prospect. He's almost like a veteran. Like the guy's got, was he an accountant? Was he working at Whole Foods like Hayden Sanger? He climbed 3 levels pretty quickly last year, and I assume it's mostly because of his age, but they clearly like his stuff. In 2024, he went from Brooklyn to Binghamton to Syracuse. He did get 1 start in Syracuse, 4 scoreless innings, but his strikeout numbers are solid. He essentially strikes out, a guy an inning and sometimes more. 57 and 42 and a third, 32 hits in those 42 and a third in Double-A this year. 3.4 ERA, like I said. 0-2 with 11 starts, so, not very long starts, and clearly didn't get much run support, but, he's a guy that's going to go right to the bullpen, help this bullpen. My guess, we don't know yet, is that he replaces Castillo maybe. We'll see what arm he does replace. Maybe Dickie Lovelady is down, and they just had Lovelady for a day. One of those 2 arms, I assume he replaces. Maybe it's Lovelady. I don't know. We'll see. But Pintaro making the jump. Now, like I said, he has one appearance in AAA, but last year. But 27 years old, we'll see what this kid's got. The Mets could use arms, but man, it's like they're throwing anyone out there. If this guy doesn't work, we'll throw this guy. I like that approach. Don't have any guys stick around too long, but something's got to stick at some point here, guys, because nothing's sticking right now. You're watching Mets Daily. I'm Jake Brown at Jake Brown Radio. Smash that thumbs up. Click subscribe. And again, click join below for the first watch party tonight, Mets Daily Insider. You also get exclusive videos on the weekend. So make sure you check that out below. A comment for yesterday that we will read. Black Cat 4126 said, I'd be shocked if the Red Sox gave up Bregman. They just got rid of Devers. It's not a bad point, Black Cat, but here's the thing. If the Red Sox want to shed money, then they'll shed money. And the best way to do that is getting rid of, Bregman's contract. Because if he opts in, you got 2 more years of $80 million to pay him. If he opts out, then he's a rental. So either way, you lose a rental or you're on the books for $80 million the next 2 years. So either way, they're going to be paying a lot of money if they keep him. So that's where the allure is. They're going younger. Maybe they go in a different direction. We'll see. But if Bregman does become available, the Mets should get him. Scott Boras said he's open to talking a contract extension. Of course he is. He wants some cash. So thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you tonight on Mets Daily Insider for the Mets Braves watch party for the final 3 innings. And we'll talk to you tomorrow on the Mets Daily Regular subscription channel. Thank you so much for watching and supporting. Have a great day. Stay cool out there. Hydrate. Drink a lot of water. And please, turn the season back around and get a freaking win tonight. It's Fuentes versus Holmes. The matchup favors the Mets tonight. So go out and get a goddamn victory. Let's go, Mets.